Rockwell was born in New York City on February 3, 1894. He knew he wanted to be an artist from a very young age. At 14, he left high school to study art seriously. He went to several art schools in New York City, including the Chase Art School, the National Academy of Design, and the Arts Student League. After graduating, Norman got his first art job as an illustrator for Boys Life magazine. When Norman was 21, his family moved to New Rochelle, New York, where he shared a studio with an artist friend who worked for the Saturday Evening Post. At the time, the Saturday Evening Post was the most popular magazine in the United States, and Norman's biggest dream was to illustrate for the front cover. With encouragement from his friend, he showed his work to the Post's editor. The editor loved him, and in 1916, Norman painted his first cover, titled "Boy Pushing Baby Carriage." Over the next 47 years, Norman painted 321 covers for the Saturday Evening Post. In 1930, Norman married Mary Bastow. They had 3 sons, Jarvis, Thomas, and Peter. The family lived in New Rochelle for 9 years and moved to Arlington, Vermont in 1939. Norman's work began to reflect small-town American life. Most of his illustrations show his sense of humor and love of people. Some art critics said he wasn't a good enough artist, but he paid no attention to criticism. Early on, Norman decided his art would show life only as he would like it to be. That didn't mean Norman ignored the important social issues.
We look forward to a world founded upon 4 essential human freedoms.
In 1943, during World War II, Norman painted the 4 Freedom series, inspired by a speech by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Freedom of speech, freedom of worship, freedom from want, and freedom from fear all appeared on the cover of the Saturday Evening Post. The paintings also toured the United States on exhibition, raising more than $130 million for the war effort. In 1953, the Rockwells moved to Stockbridge, Massachusetts. This is where Norman would spend the rest of his life. In 1963, he painted his last painting for the Saturday Evening Post and began working for Look magazine, a job that would last him for the next 10 years. He began to turn his attention to the social issues facing the country, including civil rights, poverty, and space exploration. He started receiving more attention as a painter who chose more serious social topics. An example of this is a painting called "The Problem We All Live With." This painting deals with racism in schools. It's a painting of a young girl, Ruby Bridges, walking to school escorted by federal marshals. In July 2011, the painting was installed in the White House in the hall outside the Oval Office. In 1973, in order to preserve his artistic legacy, Norman created a trust of his original paintings and drawings. He placed his trust in the custodianship of Old Corner House, Stockbridge Historical Society, which is called the Norman Rockwell Museum today. In 1976, he arranged to have his studio and any remaining art pieces added to the trust. The following year, Norman received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest civilian honor in the United States. Norman died on November 6, 1978, in Stockbridge, Massachusetts, at the age of 84. His career was spent creating paintings and illustrations that people felt were a part of everyday American life. It is easy to see why this remarkable man from New York had become one of America's all-time favorite artists.